This video is brought to you by LEGO The Hobbit, video game available now.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Roth and Chris here talking a little Game of Thrones.
Yes!
We're going to do something different this week. So there will be spoilers. There's going to be spoilers, but for the first half of the conversation, we're only going to have spoilers up to last week's episode. And then for the second half of the conversation, we're going to have spoilers from the book. So if you haven't read the books, you don't want to know what's going on, check out after that. The basic idea is this. Chris here has no idea what's up with anything. He has not...
That's true.
He has not read the books. He doesn't know who done it with Joffrey. He doesn't know any of these things. So we're going to find out what the average man is thinking about what's going on in the Game of Thrones world. And then we're going to bring in Joshua, who does know, and sort of assess how Chris's guesses went.
He's not the average man.
He is not.
He's above
he is
average.
the superior man. So, Chris, we love you. Let's talk about this big event, the Purple Wedding last week.
Definitely.
Joffrey died. Who do you think the suspects are, and who do you think done it?
Oh man, there's so many suspects. So you got Oberyn, who came in, wants to kill all the Lannisters. You've got Lady Tyrell, who doesn't want to see her granddaughter in the hands of a monster. You've got the granddaughter herself, Marjorie, who doesn't want to end up in the hands of a monster. She's a little bit like, I'll disqualify her right off the bat, I think, in some ways, because, well, maybe not. We'll see. We got Tyrion, who everybody, well, I don't know if everybody thinks he did it, but like certainly Cersei does. You could maybe make Cersei a suspect. I don't know what her motivation would be necessarily. I think there's Tywin, who has sort of like, been on the fringes of power the whole time. This is a much easier person to control. And then Tyrion, who I just disqualify him. He's definitely not the murderer. So.
And Tyrion's the one that's now been accused. He's been taken away.
I mean, he's got to be, obviously, Peter Dinklage is an amazing actor, but Tyrion would have to be an amazing actor based on his, the way he reacted in that scene. And then there's Sansa, who is also a very, she has all the motive in the world to kill Joffrey. She's been constantly humiliated by him. Her father was killed by him, her brother, her mother. I guess her brother and mother are killed by Lannisters in general, but like all that whole ball of wax.
He certainly revels in throwing it in her face. He certainly revels in her pain.
Times. And just based on the reaction from everybody, myself included, this is probably the most like yes moment of the whole series. Like you wanted to see this happen. So okay, my theory is, I think in terms of opportunity, the person who had the most opportunity was Marjorie. Okay. She had the glass last. It passed around. Lady Tyrell could have gotten there too. Sansa actually puts her finger inside the glass for a second while it's empty and she's giving it back. Tyrion had opportunity.
No, wait, let me ask you this, because you seem to know a lot about what happened with that glass. Did you go back and sort of like play it out
I watched
slowly?
It 4 times. I watched it 4 times. So she actually has her finger inside the glass as she's handing it back. But the only person with nobody watching who had access to that glass was Marjorie or Lady Tyrell. And I don't know about Tywin. Tywin could have been in the mix there. I think he has a lot of motivation to do it, because there's Joffrey. Joffrey is uncontrollable and he's horrible. He's like besmirching the Lannister name. So Tywin, and Tywin is actually really good at manipulating people. So I could see him being one. But I actually think, bottom line, I'm going to go with Lady Tyrell.
Okay. Why?
I think, first of all, she has proven to be the most level-headed person in the show in a lot of respects. And she really, she wants Joffrey dead for that like protective reason. I don't think she's willing to sort of like keep her granddaughter in the clutches of this monster. So I think she did it. My outside dark horse is Tywin had something to do with it. I don't think Marjorie did, because I think she wants to be queen, and I think she thinks that she could have controlled Joffrey.
All right. Very interesting. I think she maybe, do you not think she maybe would have wanted to wait a little bit? Though, because now we don't know if she's really queen, if Marjorie's really queen or not.
I don't know.
Has not been consummated.
It definitely throws that whole thing into disarray. So I don't know. I still think Lady Tyrell with Tywin as my second.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, Chris. Boom, and Joshua is here.
Hey.
You know what? Actually, I was teasing Chris, but he's a pretty sharp guy.
Yeah,
he's
for
a pretty
sure.
sharp guy. Now, again, reminder, these are book spoilers, so if you don't want to know anything from the books, check out now. He got it.
He got it right. Lady Tyrell is the one who poisoned Joffrey.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was thinking, if I didn't know, would I have assumed that? I don't think I would have, and this is the reason why. Because Lady Tyrell does it at the wedding, which even having read the books, I still question that timing, because had she waited for the marriage to be consummated, there'd be no question that Marjorie was queen. But because the marriage wasn't consummated yet, there is this question, right? And then Tommen suddenly is the next heir to the throne. So it is an interesting choice that she did in that timing. I don't think I would have gotten that. But how do we think the show got it right with the wedding and the poisoning?
Well, first I want to say that it's great that they put up sort of a smoke screen. That cup went everywhere,
Yes.
and you had no idea unless you knew what you were looking for.
And it also could have been the pie.
Yeah, it could have been the pie, exactly, because that's right when he started choking.
Right.
But what was great is when they had someone sweep Sansa away, so you sort of knew there was a bigger plot. It wasn't one person acting alone.
Yeah.
There's something bigger going on. And this is a big book spoiler again, but the person who actually orchestrated this was Littlefinger.
Yes. And this is the thing, they're working together. And again, it was really cool the way the show executed is that if you are really paying attention, you can see little hints. So Littlefinger from the books gives Sansa, I think it's like a hairnet. But in the show, we see she's suddenly gotten this gift of a necklace. You see Lady Tyrell mess with the necklace at a certain point. And that's where I think she gets the poison jewel. And later she puts it in the cup that goes to Joffrey. Now, was Marjorie in on it in this case, right? Like, we don't know because she was drinking from the same chalice, right? So, I mean, it's interesting because the show does make little changes from the books. So we're assuming that it's going to come out in the next couple of the weeks, that it was Lady Tyrell, that Littlefinger was also behind it. But do you think there could be any changes that the show has made? Like maybe Marjorie's in on it too. Maybe she has a bigger part to play.
I think they're going to keep Marjorie innocent because I don't think she would really play a part in that.
Yeah.
And it's really her Lady Tyrell just seems to always know what's best. Like, I'll take care of you and sort of thing. And really because I feel like Lady Tyrell is so smart that she's working for the good of the realm, not just like for personal gain. Which is why she's the perfect assassin, because she has the most to gain from Joffrey staying alive and Marjorie becoming a queen, because that's good for her house. But she sacrificed that to get rid of this like evil poisonous king.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because again, I'm wondering if any changes will be made from the book to the show. I don't think so. I think they're going to stick with that. And in the books, her motivation was that she thought that Loras, once Joffrey started being abusive to Marjorie, which he inevitably would have been because he's Joffrey, she thought Loras was going to kill Joffrey, and so she killed him first to get rid of it. Now, the Tyrells are great power players, and they still are in a good position of power here because, I mean, they're the ones providing the food, right? So if Joffrey's out of the way, what's going to happen? Well, we know what's going to happen because we know it from the book, which is they just marry him off to the younger son, the new king, Tommen, you know? And they're still then in a position of power. But as we know, maybe that's not going to maybe there are going to be resistors to that.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, we got Chris got it. He was pretty good. So props to him. That was great. It was
props
good job.
to him. I wonder how many of you guys, well, if you're watching this, then hopefully you've already read the books. But if you're not, because you just wanted to be a little bit spoiled, did you get it too? Did you know who did it? How do you think that this is all going to unfold? Do you think that the show is going to do anything different? We're assuming this is how it's going to go down in the next couple of weeks because that's how it went down in the books. But do you think they'll do anything different? Let us know in the comments and keep it locked here to IGN for all things Game of Thrones.